So one of my, regular followers has been following me for quite some time. He asked me this question, okay? How did you, how did you get so many girlfriends? How, those of you who have followed me over the years know that before I was a kind of a playboy and had quite a number of women who, the goal was to attract the girl and get romantic or physical with her, have some fun, and then bye-bye, eventually. Nothing serious. So how is it that I managed to have so many? So, those days I used to keep a track of the number of girls I managed to get, name, and kind of a diary of achievements. So I think I stopped at keeping a track at around 300 names. So roughly you could say 300, 400 females, whatever. Okay, now I know what you're thinking. Listen, man, with such an ugly face like yours, who the hell would even fall for you? It's a very legit comment, or people even have the thing that who you bluffing, which girl would ever want to be around with you? Or some people say, listen, man, okay, 1 or 2 girls agreed. How it is impossible to get 300, 400 girls or whatever. Let me give you a simple example. I've spoken about this. This guy who I knew, he was a DJ at this hotel in Dubai, Bird Dubai. Okay, it's a place in Dubai, and there were quite a number of females. A lot of these females who offer services for sex, and they used to get a lot of these guys coming. So because he was a DJ, he was very popular there. A lot of girls were very friendly and pally with him. And if a girl didn't have a customer or client for the night, she would love to go with him because, a lot of perks and benefits. So he used to get one girl every single night. He was, I don't know, man, how did he have that kind of stamina? And just multiply this into 10, 11 years of being a DJ. He must have got over 5,000 females or plus. And I'll tell you, I was very skeptical about the fact that he had many females until one fine day he called me, to his, he had a special session, so he called me. The number of girls who were there, I was like, what the hell is this? They were just a sea of girls and many guys, but these guys were spenders. So girls don't, especially the girls who offer services for sex, they don't mind being where spenders are there. So, and man, the number of girls were like cats who are purring to him and talking to him and giving him kisses on the cheek, and because he was the main guy, the DJ. He was a revenue generator there. So anyway, so the point I'm trying to tell you is there are people who get tons and tons of females. And if you check celebrity stars, I mean, if you read the stories of rock and roll those days, my era, those, singers and performers, every city, every town they would go to, 3, 4 girls per guy. You'd get these girls who just hero worship them so much. Like there have been even stories of mother and daughters, sisters, and they're having 2-some, 3-some, whatever. So it's not that it doesn't happen. It's just that you have not done it, so you feel it's not possible with other people. Just remember, your reality is not the reality for the entire world, man. And then obviously there are people who are filthy, filthy, filthy rich who can get so many girls, man. Like just check, okay, Instagram, social media and all that, these guys are faking it by renting out hostess and models. But if someone has shitloads of money, you think girls are not dying to hang around with these guys? Oh, they don't mind. Even if one guy has 4-5 females, they just want an easy life, man. I'll tell you, if you still find it hard to believe that girls fall for people with money, just come for a vacation to any third world country, go to a red light district and show that you're a spender. See how many girls come to you, not come. Yeah. So, but anyway, what we are talking about is not girls for means prostitutes or sex workers. We're talking of normal girls. Okay. So now the question is, how do you seduce normal girls, even if you don't want to be a playboy? And the question is, how did I do it? See, first things first is understand that I was growing up during the day and age of, there was no Google, there was no Facebook, there was no chatting. So the only way you could meet a girl was physically. And the problem I faced was my parents were not supportive. I was not from a rich community, rich family. I was South Indian, raised in a South Indian family in the Middle East. So, just like any other normal person, you see a girl, it's like, oh, girl, oh, wow. In fact, most of us didn't know how to behave in front of a girl. We would blush and be shy. Most of the guys. And they would overact or, act silly or inappropriate. Like, act stupid just to get a girl's attention. If girls were sitting together in a group, we would just go and scream, yeah, this and that, and with each other and make loud noise. And girls would wonder, like, what's gone wrong with these guys? See, girls also like attention. Girls also don't mind, guys trying to get their attention, though they don't show. They'll be like, they'll ignore. But they like it. Okay, but today it's different, obviously. So those days, I'm talking about those days. So I think what stood out for me was the fact that I had hyper ADHD. I love to talk. I love the attention. And I always wanted an audience. So that was what made me stand out. And on top of that is, I was used to criticism. I was used to rejection. Because my family itself used to do that with me. They used to put me down and make fun of me and kind of reject me and all that. But I was shameless. So I think I used the same principle with girls, like where other boys would huddle around with boys and stare at the girls. I didn't have a gang or group. So what I has to do is, which today when I think of it, it's like, oh, I really did that. I would actually go to the girls and say, hi, how are you? And they'll be like, yeah, because obviously they are in a group, so they feel more courageous, yeah. So I would just say, how are you? Fine. Just talk to them and they'll be like, huh? Some would ignore me. Some would say hi. And because of this constant interaction of saying hi, how are you? And talking to them, they eventually, felt, oh, we know this guy. We talked to him so many times. So they would talk to me, and little did I know that I was using a very powerful principle of how to seduce women. And that is, you need to talk to them, treat them, and make them feel as if you're like them. Like you're talking or communicating to a human being. Remember, girls understand one thing. They understand that you are looking for their attention. You have, you want to get romantic or the agenda of sex. Obviously, when you get older, girls know that you're just looking for sex or fun or romance. So girls are far more smarter than guys. And obviously, because girls go through physical changes much more painful, like with their periods and all that, which men don't go. So they have this communication between girls and between their parents, and that, the responsibility that, you're a girl, about sex. They have that talk. Boys, generally, parents don't have the talk with them because, they're not going to get pregnant and all that. And I doubt any parent sits with their son and talks to them about, see, you're going to have affairs and sex. And at least my parents never had, forget ever in my life. So as I used to go and talk to these girls like normal, okay? And then obviously, because I wanted their attention, I would always ask myself, what can I share with them that would retain their attention? So I would look at, obviously, books. There was no Google. I would read books and magazines to find out stories or interesting bits or shocking facts, and I would memorize them. And when I'd go to them, I would tell them, hey, do you know this? This one man had 4 wives. And they, what rubbish. Yeah, his name was so-and-so. And they say, oh, how do you know all this? I said, yeah, I read. So they would always find it interesting when I'd come up with surprising stuff. But then I realized that girls, especially, they love stories. They love to hear stories. So I used to read not news, read other people's stories, put a little bit of masala, add a little bit of exaggeration and share it with them. And girls used to love to sit together to listen to my stories. I would memorize horror stories and romantic stories and good stories. So eventually girls became like, oh, he's a storyteller, and they would sit. Other guys used to get so jealous and they used to hate, and when they used to walk past by, they would, hurl names at me and laugh at me and all that. So the girls took it as upon themselves, oh, we need to protect this guy. They're bullying him, poor fellow. So they kind of liked me. And remember, during all this while, I never, although I had feelings of, I liked attention, I did feel like, sex and all that stuff. But I talked to them as a normal person. I spoke to them as, like I talked to a guy. I didn't feel, oh, this is a girl. And one very big thing is, thankfully for me, I was not the type who used to stare at a girl's breasts and ass and body. And those days, today's generation is different, but those days, girls used to dress up like boys and in just a t-shirt and not wear anything sexy. And obviously, because there was no internet and porn, so, we were not influenced by all that. So I never stared at a girl's, physical attributes. Because remember, girls have peripheral vision. They know where you're looking. So that is why when you talk to a girl face to face, if you look at her breast, you will move your head. And she knows exactly where you're looking. Trust me. I realized this only once in my life, and I never repeated the mistake. But one female senior, I was looking at her cleavage because she had that chain. And she immediately asked me, where are you looking? I was like, oh, how did she know where I was looking like? So that's where, then when I did research and all that, I was, I even asked her, what? I asked her later on, honestly, I asked her, how do you know where I was looking? She's like, I can see your eyes. So that made me very aware. Girls can notice your eyes. So anyway, that was later on. So I talked to girls as friends and all that. So girls got very comfortable. And that is how I got more confident, and I realized some important lessons. Number one is, girls are very intelligent, more intelligent than men at that age, that young age. And they know your intentions, they know your agenda, and they know for a fact what you're trying. But they are ready to overlook that, because even they feel the same about sex or emotions or feelings or lust or urges. But then you shouldn't, like this, be a dog in heat. You shouldn't be like, hang your tongue out and look at them as sexual objects. That they don't like. If you can talk to them like a friend, if you can be normal, if you can just act like you're talking to a bunch of guys, and with that, if you have the confidence to handle and deal with them like you're talking to your mother or sister or someone, they eventually get comfortable with you. And that is paramount to, the first step towards seducing a girl, where she knows that I can talk to him like a normal person. And as you talk to more and more girls, you get used to them. Then, you don't feel, oh, I'm talking to a girl. And then on top of that, when you have this confidence, which will come, the confidence, the calmness, the smoothness, like not being nervous and shivering and being like, like if you go to a new group or new gang of people, you're always a little uptight because you don't know the dynamics of the group. But if you're with someone that you know for years and years, you'll just be your natural self. So when you start intermingling with girls, being your natural self, your normal self, being fun and funny and, just have your quirks of how you normally are. Don't overly act or react to anything. Then they'll be comfortable with your presence, and slowly, girls, like normal human beings, they'll start interacting with you, talking with you, joking with you, then slowly physically touching. That is why if you see girls, when they're with girls, they feel comfortable hugging each other, sitting down on each other's lap, pushing each other. So they might not sit on your lap and all that, but they'll physically interact with you, like push you, hey, shut up, man, what are you talking? And then from there, the closeness comes. So the first major lesson that you need to understand and use is, think of them as like a mother, sister, brother, like normal. Talk and interact with them in a normal fashion. And have plenty of experience, not just one girl or one group. Practice with multiple. I used to hang around more with girls and less with guys. And the more girls you interact with, the better you become. And remember, until now, I didn't even bring up the fact of physical attraction or looks or love or sorry. Got some dust up my nose here. So I didn't bring up the fact of sex or love or, physical attraction. But remember, the more they interact with you, the more comfortable they get with you. And eventually, friendship blossoms. And then there is a possibility that you can get close to them. And as this experience grows, then you start getting the maturity or the experience to know what to say, when to say. And slowly, I'll tell you, as you walk down the path of being around with so many women, you will automatically know what works, what doesn't work. And keep this in mind. Girls like a friend. Girls want someone they trust. Girls want somebody who doesn't have the agenda of, oh, I want to get in between her legs. I want sex. That is always there. They know that guys want that, but they would feel more comfortable knowing this guy doesn't have a hidden agenda with me. He's just someone I can trust and talk to. And if a girl feels comfortable being able to talk to you as a friend, being able to open up, being able to share moments, memories, and be, open up her secrets and be vulnerable with you, then automatically she'll be close to you. And yes, a relationship will develop. Over here, I just have to caution you on one thing. Don't play with a girl's emotions. Okay, don't, like many of our Indian guys or Asian guys, they'll promise, I'll marry you, I'll have children with you, give them false hopes, we will be together forever. Yeah, when you are emotionally or sexually at your peak and your urges are right up there in the sky, you'll say, I love you forever, you'll be mine forever. You give all those dialogues which, you know, when you think of it, when you're horny, you say, I love you forever, I'll go down on you every day in the morning, I want you to put all of that in my mouth. And we say a lot of shit, especially when you are horny. Okay, that's very common with guys. But be careful, especially when you give a woman expectations, because not just because it'll backfire on your face and society will hate you and obviously all our friends will ostracize you, but you're talking of a human being who is, you know, giving you all her hopes and dreams and being vulnerable, and it can actually destroy a female. It can scar a female psychologically, emotionally, mentally, and that's very, very wrong. I'll tell you that much. That's very serious and that's very wrong. And in many cases, we have girls who physically harm themselves or even try to take their own life because they can't handle the fact that you played around with their emotions and feelings. It's a very serious thing, so be careful. So for over there, I don't know, right from the get-go, I had this thought, and not only thought, I let females know I was a playboy. I don't know, maybe I thought it was cool or whatever. So all the girls knew I was a playboy. So here's the funny thing, because girls knew I was a playboy, girls used to, you know, hey, be careful of him, he's a playboy. But the good news of that was, the adventurous girls used to try stuff with me. They were like, anyway, he's a playboy, so you might as well, you know, secretly they would say, hey, you're a playboy, I don't believe you, come on, prove it to me. When they are alone with me, you know, these games, okay, prove it to me that you're a playboy, come on. Like when you're alone, they would say, okay, prove it, do something and show me. Obviously, the girl wants sex and you want sex, and we'd have a good time together. So, and obviously, yes, we would keep it a big secret. We would not let anyone know. So that was another perk or benefit. Look at sweets, Thai sweets. Sorry, you come there, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see, I'll ask my wife. I'll show you in the camera some sweets. So yeah, I used to always get the benefit of telling a girl that I was a playboy was I would only get the horny ones or the naughty ones, because you know they can't show publicly. And given the fact that I lived in a very conservative, semi-conservative family, I would have conservative kind of girls. So yeah, I was always lucky there. But today I will caution you, in today's day and age, I'll give you a few cautions which I think is very necessary. A couple of them, and these are very, very important. Number one, be aware of the fact that today a girl can cry rape, or a girl can cry, he molested me, took advantage of me. And you have this generation that shares private DMs and messages publicly. That is why you get so many famous YouTubers who had a girl or someone who was saying, oh, I love you and oh, I like you, and flirting with them. But then when the guy responds, then they use this against him. So be careful of that. And if you get, branded as a sexual predator, that's the end of your reputation online. And I'll tell you, then there is no coming back, especially being a guy. Annie? Here. Annie? Give me a minute. Say, you want to show baby? You want sweets? Huh? Okay, can you bring money? I'll tell you what I want and you can select. So I'll show you some sweets. I'll have to call my wife because I do not know what most of them are. Can have a look. These are all sweets. She amma mom. My daughter will also see. So these are Thai sweets. I thought I would try some of them. My wife is coming down. You can have a commercial break. Yeah, you just come and explain to me what it is, no? Come. There is some coconut and jelly. I think I'll take one of the rice and all that. Very colorful sweets. A lot of preservatives. Okay, Annie, you tell me what is water. What is this one? It's noodle, huh? What is that?
It
Yeah.
yellow peanuts.
Peanut, huh?
Yes.
Okay, give me one. And what is that?
This
ให้เราอย่าไปทางนั้นสิแม่บอกว่ายังไงรถมา
peanuts.
Peanut, huh? Okay, give me one that. You know what is the name, Annie? Okay, give me that one. Yeah. And this is coconut and what?
Yes.
Coconut
and coconut. No, sticky and banana.
Okay, give me one.
Be careful, she will.
Yeah. And this is sweet rice, no? Yeah. Give me this one.
Sweet a little bit.
Yeah, no problem. Give me one.
Jelly coconuts.
Okay. This is egg, no? This one? Sweet egg?
Not coconut.
No, this one.
Eat
Egg. Yeah.
and shake with eggs.
Yeah. Give me one of that. And last, give me one of this. Okay?
Need the and
Yeah.
coconut milk and corn.
Yeah. Give me one. No, not this one. Can you give me the one? Okay, no problem. Give you. No problem.
Need one?
Yeah. Okay. Go, mommy, go. Okay, Annie, you pay. Okay? I will go.
You pay.
Go, mommy. Ask her if she want any.
ให้เล่นอะไรนะลูก
For you.
เอาตัวนี้
She, mom, you want jelly? See?
You see?
เอาไหมเอาตัวนี้หรือตัวนี้
Hmm?
ลูกจะกินเหรอเดี๋ยว
เอานี่เหรอ
แม่ไม่กินหรอก
One shot.
Give her what she feel nice. Okay? Chal. So, you see, a little bit of shopping with the family. Okay. So, yeah, what I was saying was be careful, especially where today's social media age, and be careful if you give anything in writing. And please, for goodness sake, I'll tell you one thing as a matter of caution. Please do not type or share anything that the girl can share publicly. Like you might say, oh, I'm feeling hard down there, or I'm feeling horny, I want to do this to you, that to you, put my tongue there. And even worse is, please don't send your private parts photographs, no matter how much the girl asks. Because remember, maybe the girl you're talking to, maybe she's not genuine, maybe she has a couple of friends who are trying to corner you. You do not know what is happening. And be careful also in terms of video, because everything can be screen recorded. Why I'm giving you these cautionary bits is because we are dealing in a different age and time. So there, be careful. What it is recommended is, if you are chatting physically, if you are chatting online, whatever is shared, remember, there is records of it. So keep that in mind. And so let the girl talk more, but do not use anything to blackmail her, or legally you can be in trouble. And whatever, like, intimate stuff that you have to talk or share or you want to open up, do it one-to-one when you're meeting her. And initially, it's always recommended meet in a group so that you understand the dynamics of her personality offline, not online. Because online, anyone can act like anything. I've had girls who online act like super horny and super open-minded, but when I've met them physically, they're actually trembling. And I had this one case where this girl openly said, "Oh, I'm ready to do anything with you. I want to go crazy. Do what you want with me. Let me see what you can do." And when we met and obviously, grabbed her, started smooching, this and that, then I found her trembling and shivering. And I was, because I was aware, I was like, whoa, what happened? And then, obviously she was trying to hide it. So say, listen, more than anything, you're a friend, you can tell me. So then finally she told me it is her first time and she was nervous. And so thankfully, because of my experience, I, backtracked and made sure she was comfortable. Best part was she was not. And later on when she went home and then she cried because it was her first time. And then she obviously needed space, but I used to always send her a message to make sure that she was okay. That time chat was there. Facebook was the thing. And eventually it took quite some time. I think a month or 2 months or 3 months. I can't remember exactly. Finally, she thanked me and told me, thank you, it is my fault equally. And so that's why I'm telling you, be careful. Okay. And remember, the best way to go about in today's day and age is mix with different groups, guy, girl groups. Mix with maximum number. Get the maximum amount of experience, exposure, so that, it's not something new for you. And as you interact with people, spend time, observe. I'm telling you, what is more important is observe them, let them talk more. And eventually, you'll get better and better with the experience. And as you spend more time, as you get to understand them more, you will eventually start knowing what to say, what not to say, when to say. And that is the basic foundation of being a seducer, whereby you're comfortable with them, they are comfortable with you, you have the confidence and knowledge of dealing with people. And then automatically once you reach that level of comfort, then you can start working on, doing things that make them happy, that they like, spending time with them, being with them. And remember, in all this, I've never mentioned once also, money and spend gifts and buy. No, I never spend money. I never bought them expensive things. Because if you make it a habit, then that becomes a standard. Then they will expect you to always spend and blow money on them, and that is a wrong message you're giving them. Rather, without spending money, remember, anyone can spend money and get any girl. That doesn't take a genius. Any Tom, Dick and Harry can blow money. That's how you get these guys, who go to prostitutes and all that. They don't want to do anything. Throw some money and you get girls. But here I'm talking about developing your personality to be able to seduce them. So when you don't have money involved, and you're not trying to impress them with toys and expensive stuff and gifts, then it comes down to your true personality, your character. And that is where you will hone and sharpen these skills. And in time, you will meet females who generally like being with you, who want to spend time with you, who will want your company. And I'll tell you, if a guy like me who nobody was there to guide, who, those days I didn't have tattoos, even without anything, if I was able to get girls, talk to me and spend time with me and be with me, very sure you can do it, man. Just one final thing. Just make sure that, like I tell people, the analogy. If your budget is a Toyota, don't hang around in a BMW or Rolls-Royce showroom, because eventually you will be called out. Because remember, if you purchase a Toyota, then you have to pay money to maintain the Toyota. But if you think of buying a Rolls-Royce, then you have to pay the money to rent it, to service it. And like they say, the air filter of a Rolls-Royce costs more than, I think, a second-hand car. So changing the air filter and all that. So I used to always go with girls whom you could say I maintain my standards. They're not above my standards, or I can maintain that service fee, as you call it, maintenance fee. And that will be very important for you in terms of keeping it long term. Because if you start hanging around with girls who are way too expensive and above your budget, you will burn yourself out. Because they like to hang around where it's expensive. They might show that they're very understanding and accommodating, but don't go with these girls, allowing them to spend on you if you want your self-respect. Like, don't spend on the girl, but don't allow the girl to spend on you. Spend for yourself. Be that kind of a guy. So overall, this is the most common basic thing. And remember, one final thing. Chatting with girls online is not the real experience. Physically, you have to be there. And physically is very uncomfortable. You have to be physically prepared in terms of your body. You have to be mentally prepared for, rejection. Emotionally, you have to be strong. Maybe they'll not react to you. So that is the real life lesson. Chatting with girls online and sending 100 messages to 100 different girls, hi babes, that is not the way to go about. That any idiot, and most of them are idiots, hello, I love you, and go physically, go real. And there you'll really grow as a human being. Like I told you, I was lucky that I was, my generation who didn't have these online easy tools like Tinder and all that. Physically, we used to go. Well, that helped me develop. So overall, this is what I'd like to share with you in terms of tips or tricks or strategies, or how to be a seducer, and how I managed to do it. And like any other thing, any other skill, give it time. Okay? Don't rush things. Just as you cannot develop a physique in few days or few weeks, you cannot develop this skill. It's just like chess. If you want to be really good at chess, you have to keep practicing, memorizing moves and techniques and strategies. So, and yeah, reading books and going online, checking videos, all that is fine. But that is not reality. Most of them talk rubbish. I would say that read, research, but then go physically and observe and learn. Observe and learn always. I used to literally, this might sound funny, used to ask the girls, like, what do I do to talk to this girl, or how do I talk to this girl, or what should I say? They used to guide me, especially the girls who are elder than me. I used to find it very funny. They used to look at me like a small brother, like a silly boy. And they would actually tell me, and this I used even later on when started having sex. I would ask these girls who are elder than me and maybe more experienced, what do I do, how do I do it? And they guided me. So, anyway, I hope this video added some value, because I like to keep it real, I don't like all the bullshit that goes online. And remember, when in doubt, stay out, okay? Don't be careful, because it's a double-edged sword. And take guidance. Always take guidance. Ask people, please don't send me 100 messages and how do I get this, how do I do that, how do I give her orgasm. I'm not the sexual doctor or the sexual guide here for lost horny, pre-adolescent young men have other things to do. Anyway, wanted to share this because an old timer asked. Let me know your doubts and questions in the comments below, and maybe I'll answer that or make another video. All right? Good, bad, ugly, feel free to comment down below. Okay? You guys take care. It's me signing off. Sure. And I hope you enjoyed me buying sweets. Taste a little bit of sweets here and there. Okay? Take care. Ciao.